If you've ever wondered how I get the jetter on my van, like so. Why don't I get a winch? Because the Chevy Express is too small for it. I maybe could get one there, but it's gonna take up space for other stuff that I got all right here. If I had the longer Express, this is the 8-foot one, I think. But then they have a 10-foot Express. I could probably put a winch in there. I was thinking about getting one of those box truck, or not box trucks, but it's like a Ford E350 with a Royal body, or a Cov, K-U-V, where it has the compartments on the outside for material, and then you have a super high one, and then you have a mid height one where I can almost, you still have to kind of lean forward without hitting your head, but thought about getting one of those, but my friend Greg has one, and dude, you're limited on where you can park. You can't pull into driveways because it's too long, and the bumper is too low, so you'll scrape really bad. You know, it's hard. You for sure can't parallel park unless you have a huge spot. So I've kicked around getting one of those vans for a while. I don't know, it's just so easy to get around in this thing. It is a little more difficult to get things on and off, but I'm making it work, you know. I don't know, I'd love to have a bigger truck, and I could do it right now, but they're just a lot bigger, harder to drive, harder to get into tight spaces. In LA, man, I tell you, the parking and traffic and some of these smaller streets I drive down, I don't think, if I had one of the wider trucks, the one I was telling you about, I don't think I could get down some of these wider streets. Smacking my mirrors and dragging the side of the body. I mean, even this, when I got it, I caught my slick lock on the side. I was pulling in, I don't know, whatever. I caught it, and it bent the door in, and so, but this is how I get in. I just push it on. It's really quite easy. I doubt I can do it with one hand, but there you go, right like that. Oh, let's see if I can do it. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's how I get it on there. Push it all the way back, and then you do that. This holds the wheel from moving. And then I just fold these up. It would be nice to have a little winch. It'd be really nice. Then you just fold these suckers up. I got these at Harbor Freight for, I think they were like $100 for both. You want to be careful setting these against that, because it'll break that little glass. Fortunately, I have not had to learn the hard way on that one. Yeah, I want a bigger truck. It would make life easier, that's for sure. But then life would get harder with parking and driving, and I wouldn't be able to go as fast on the freeway. And quite frankly, driving really frustrates me. It frustrates me very quickly. I don't have any tolerance for traffic. And this doesn't really bother me. I kind of look at it as getting exercise, you know. All right, on to the job. That's what we're after. This is a vacant house being sold. And they had a home inspector who apparently had a rigid sea snake sewer camera, and he cameraed the line and put a report together and was using a bunch of terminology that I was like, what is this guy talking about? But there's some, I couldn't tell from the report, but there's some kind of blockage between here and the city. So, I should pull my van in back here. I don't know if I can fit though. You know what? Let's pull the old van back here. So this is what I'm talking about. I was going on and on about parking. Yeah, I could have parked it on the street and it would have been fine. But it was just, it would have made the job more difficult. This is a busy street, but this barely fit back here. I mean, it barely fit. And if I had one of those wide body trucks, it's just, I would have had to park on the street. So this is much better. Anyway, okay, let me pull the jetter. See, once again, I can leave all this stuff out. If I would have done it on the street down there, I would have had to pack everything back up, close the door, blah, blah, blah. All right. I think I'm in denial. I really do want a bigger truck, but it's just make everything a little bit more difficult. Okay. So this is our closest hose bib, which is not great, but it'll work because I have 300 feet of jetter hose. So we'll just pull this as far as it goes, and we'll put the jetter right here. Be fine. Okay, so I found that instead of taking the spinner coupling off, I leave that on and just spin it onto the hose. I hold the hose. I used to take it off like a dope, and then it gets hard to, this side gets hard to get on and off. The little thing gets stuck. Okay, now take this. That. And you turn on the water. And this is for the trap hose I never use because I have the JM1000, and yeah, you just don't need that on this. I might take that off of there, to be honest with you, because it's kind of a pain. You just turn this, points to this side, and then I'll put the water through this side. Okay, now let's get that out. So I'm going to pull it all the way down to the street. Because that's how far we want to go. I'll walk it back. And that's all. So I'm going to get the Reaper. Yeah. Reaper. Get the Reaper, fool. It's the Reaper. Alright, I got all kinds of cool little nozzles in here. I bought this from EPL Solutions. It's a, you can take this apart and flip these jets so they're pointing forward. It's like the digger nozzle, which is this guy. It's just a forward-facing jet. But today we're going with the Reaper. It's the Reaper. This points forward and it oscillates like in a circle. It has these four pointing backwards. So now let's just get this guy on here. You don't have to snug it down or anything like that. Now let's just make sure it's working. Sounds like it. Okay. We're good. We can turn this off. You always want to make sure this is on before you start that motor, because the pump, I think you have something like 10 seconds if you realize the water's not on and you've started the engine. You have about 10 seconds before that motor burns out. Okay. It's not deep at all. Okay, now kind of a fun little video. I like working alone, man, when nobody's around. I really like it. I think one of the realtors is coming here in a bit. Okay, so the water is a-flowing. And then we need, always take the key out, because it's very easy to forget to turn this off. So you always take it out. Ask me how I know. I've burnt out the battery once. Okay, so you want to put this just up like that. You pull the choke. It'll take a couple starts, but it's a Honda. Can't go wrong. Now it just feeds in. Easy. I stopped being able to hear it There, it's on the stoppage right there. When I looked at the inspection report, it looked like a collapsed sewer to me. All right, I'm gonna work this for a bit. I'll check back in with you. Okay, I was sitting there working it and nada. Couldn't get it, so, and I had it on 4,000. So, let's, okay, I came to where the jetter head wouldn't go anymore. And it looks like right there, it's holding water. There looked like there was a bunch of dirt and stuff. So let's turn that off. So this is the obstruction right there. It appears to be dirt. Looks like they lined it. You can see that they lined the pipe. Because you can see the lettering on the side there. But then when you come to this, it's holding water. You can see it's just. I mean, I can turn. So we located it. It's at the bottom of the street there, and the jetter did pop through a little bit. We got the water's out of there, and then we come to this. You can see it's broken right here, and then just a massive root intrusion. How about this? What I'll do is I'm gonna get my snake, and I'll push it down the. Oh, but you know, another thing is this thing is lined, so it's possible. It likely, there's a possibility that the snake spinning could damage some of this lining, but you know, if I can pop a hole through that, and then I can get the descaling chains there, you can see it. Look, yeah, there's a little worm. So it's definitely open to the earth. Got some rootage. And put the camera back down. Yeah, there's nothing beats it, man, honestly. I would never have it any other way. So this is the ends. This is specifically for roots. And since we popped a hole with that, I think it's worth a try. I can get this down. Listen to that. That's nasty. That sounds scary. Okay, so we jetted it again, and I was able to push the camera past that spot all the way to, this is the city right here. I'm cleaning up the camera lens. There we go. That's the city man right there. And then we pull it back. So this right here, that's the saddle. Okay. That's what I was trying to explain earlier. And then you have more roots really bad right there. And that's half the pipe right there. Yeah. That just looks like something that's knocked loose. Yeah, that's the whole side of it. It's just, yeah, that whole side is, I mean, that's completely, yeah, look at that. Wow. That whole thing. So you got a root intrusion by the saddle. You have that's number 2. And then this is the one we were working on. This is what I can't get the jetter head. See, there's your little crack in the pipe. At least that's one of them. Yeah, that's. Well, I guess the jetter head knocked it out decently, huh?
Yeah.
Because that's the liner right there. Okay, so here we are. This is as you can see, the the writing right here that indicates that it is this pipe has been lined, and that lining basically starts as soon as you put the camera in the clean out all the way to this section right here. This is about 55 feet. So right here you can see where the lining ends, and we're going into clay. And this is a clay Y. And this is originally where the first inspector found all the roots and the blockage. So we hydrojetted through those roots, knocked them all out. And what you have right here is a Y combination Y fitting. So I don't know this for certain, but basically going this way to the right is likely just nothing. So back in the day, they used to use a Y with a 45 as a change of direction for sewers, and then what they put on the other end of this is just a cap. So sometimes those caps will break, and then roots will grow into that. We blasted through all those roots, and this was the main section that we were having issues with. And this is all clay pipe. Clear, and then this was the second obstruction, completely blasted through that. And by the way, this is a self-leveling camera, so you're looking at it as if you're standing up and looking down the pipe. So that means this is the bottom and that's the top. So we blasted through with the hydrojetter. And then keep going down. And then that was another obstruction that was pretty much taking up the entire pipe. We blasted through that. And then you push down a little bit further, and then as you can see the running water there, that is the city sewer. And this is incorrect, the feet. That's about 66 feet. That's the city sewer. So that's it. So I cleared that drain as best as I could. And it's for sure flowing. No backups at all. But the buyer of that property may want it completely cleared out. And if that's the case, we're going to have to install a clean out at the bottom of the driveway. But I may try these. I don't know. I was just compressing these a little bit. Sometimes these won't fit in a 3-inch pipe. I gotta get the 4-inch ones too. So I was just kind of compressing these a little bit. You got 3-inch pipe right here. These they'll go in there now. But I literally tried everything. I can't push the chains that far. So, if that buyer is like, hey, I want the roots clear from top to bottom of that sewer, I'm going to need the 4-inch ones of these. But I think that sewer upsizes to 6-inch. So I don't know, man. They need to install a clean out down there. End of story. All right, later.